coming in right now. Now, AAP has knocked the doors of the Supreme Court in the Freebies matter, and they have essentially filed an intervention application in the Supreme Court. AAP says that Ashwini Upadhyay has strong links with the BJP, and his petition is essentially frivolous. I'm crossing over to my colleague Ananya Patnagar to give us more details on this. Ananya, can you tell us more about this Freebies matter and essentially whether the intervention application that the AAP has filed, is it likely to go in their favor?
Well, the Aam Aadmi Party has now knocked the doors of the top court. Clearly, in the Freebies matter, it has filed an intervention application. So what basically an intervention application is, that a particular person comes up before the court that in an ongoing matter, I want to intervene because I am also a part and parcel to this matter. I have a locus into this matter. And this is what essentially the Aam Aadmi Party has said. In fact, it has also challenged the petition that is filed by Mr. Ashwini Upadhyay, wherein the Supreme Court had very recently made certain observations clearly saying that the Election Commission should be doing it, and it had asked an expert body, including the Finance Commission and the Election Commission, to look into the matter and give out its suggestions with regards to whether freebies should be there or freebies should not be there. In fact, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the central government, clearly stated that this is somewhere leading us to an economical disaster, and the freebies lead us to an economical disaster. Now, what the Aam Aadmi Party government says in its intervention application clearly is that the petition is politically motivated, because the petitioner Ashwini Upadhyay is connected with the Bharatiya Janata Party and has remained its spokesperson. Apart from that, it also says that it is a mere targeting of the in fact, the economical model of what Arvind Kejriwal portrays, and a particular economical model is being targeted by Mr. Ashwini Upadhyay in the wake of targeting the freebies. In fact, he also goes on to say that this is not a public interest litigation, but then a political interest litigation. That is exactly what the Aam Aadmi Party says in its petition, challenging what Mr. Ashwini Upadhyay has filed in the top court of the country. And remember that the central government too has supported what Mr. Ashwini Upadhyay has said, clearly saying that freebies lead us to an economical disaster per se. Studios.
Now, Ananya, can you tell us about whether because Freebies promises for free water, electricity, this is not something that's new. This is something that we see across the country, especially before poll season. Can you tell us about whether there's any legal precedent for a situation like this?
Well, per se, there's no legal precedent for this, and this is the reason why it's a major reason, in fact, why the Supreme Court invited suggestions from various bodies, including the Finance Commission, the Election Commission, and other stakeholders with regards. In fact, there were also a debate that whether a parliamentary debate could happen over the freebies matter or not. So that is the reason there is a lacuna in law, and a direction into this particular matter is something that is very, very extraordinary, and the Supreme Court would be dealing with a lot of suggestions and then only would be passing any kind of orders. Because remember, the last time the Supreme Court was hearing this matter, the central government clearly had its stand, while it had also asked the Election Commission and other bodies to come up with suggestions as to what can be done in this matter, and whether freebies should be stopped or not stopped, or what kind of action should be taken into this particular case. Because this is not something that is very, very legally arguable, because this is something that is relating to the election. This is something that is not there in the law as such, but there has to be some kind of a control over what kind of freebies are offered and whether these election promises are fulfilled or not. Because remember that there was an order of the High Court also, wherein the High Court had in fact given out a clear message that election promises should be in fact completed. However, the same said judgment was stopped by a division bench of the High Court itself, after the single judge bench order was challenged before the topmost court of the country by the Aam Aadmi Party, because it was against Mr. Kejriwal when the judgment had come in, and later on the judgment was stayed before the court. And now we'll have to wait and watch as to how the matter pans up when it comes up for hearing next.
All right, Ananya, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us those details on this latest development when it comes to freebie culture. Now with this, we're heading into a very short break, but stay with us.